Hey, yo, what up, Cincinnati? You are now tuned in to the WhatUpWally radio show, 95.7 FM, here at Music Resource Center, Cincinnati. Welcome to quarantine day number 12. What y'all doing out there? Hope you staying busy, not being sick. Hey, today we got a special guest in the studio. We got the young spitter Khari with me.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Hey, what you been up to over these quarantine days?
Man, it's the perfect time to lock in the lab and, knock out some records. Been down here cooling it with you and a couple of the other homies that's spitting in the city and, just been being productive, man. Just trying to stay productive.
We've been laying down some fire, huh?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Man.
For sure.
It's kind of crazy.
It is.
Energy's been wild.
Energy, it's always good to get in a, studio with different.
With a bunch of
people.
Yeah,
man. The energy is amazing.
And, when it's the end of the world, you just never know what's going to happen.
Facts.
You got to get all your bars.
Like Pac. Pac knew he was gone.
Let me work. Y'all can twist these knobs when I'm gone.
For sure.
Hey, you just announced that you're having a kid, right?
Yes, man. I'm a dad.
Wait, baby boy?
Baby boy. Young K-Ball on the way.
How you feel about that?
I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm anxious. All kinds of emotions. But yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing though. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
You got a name picked out or?
Yeah. Khari.
Okay.
That's the first I told anybody to.
Oh, really?
That's the first we had.
Hey, that's right. World exclusive
that's
right
the
here.
Exclusive premiere.
That's right. Forget Funkmaster Flex. Forget what you heard. Forget your favorite radio show. It's all going down here. Man, well, thanks for coming through. I've been playing some of your music here the past couple weeks and
appreciate you,
get some good responses, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But I've had a couple people that have been like, "Hey, who's that dude that Khari that you've been playing the Sam song whoop whoop?" And I was like, "Oh man, that's the young spitter." So I remember before we met, you sent me a pre-release of Cincinnati.
For sure, yeah.
And I was like, I get a lot of people send me music.
Yeah, I bet, yeah.
And most of it, there's a lot of good stuff, but a lot of it is like, so a lot of times I don't listen to stuff. But I remember opening up, I dragged those files into my iTunes, and I just sat back. It was at the end of the day, and I was like, whoa. So Cincinnati, is that your first official release?
Yeah, first official release. I released a few little things, but this was my first major thing that I was trying to do, to put my name out there, at least in the city first. So yeah, for sure.
How's the reception been?
Great,
yeah,
amazing. Within a year, I've done a lot, and I still got a lot to do. But within that, just dropping that last May, it hasn't even been a full year yet. So just dropping it last May, I just seen just a whole lot of more opportunities, man. It's been a lot of love, a lot of just people been telling me how great the project is, and I'm just like, man, it just mean a lot, man, for real. So I just want to keep going and just keep improving on that and building on that success.
For those of you out there, if you don't know, Khari's Cincinnati was the WhatUpWally #1 album of 2019.
My God,
that's a big deal. Hey, we out here.
That's love.
Yeah, man, and then you dropped another EP at the end of the year, right?
Yeah. Skywalker EP, yeah.
What I'm interested. Why did you decide to drop that at the end of 2019 and not hold it to 2020?
Well, it was kind of a creative thing because the movie was coming out. The new Star Wars movie, and I just felt like it was, if I had to drop it, it had to be right here. I wasn't gonna hold on to it and drop it this year. Cause I honestly didn't plan on dropping any new music until my next project, but it was just some creative stuff. At first it was gonna be 3 songs, then it was man, fuck it, I was turned it into some more stuff. So, yeah, and then I just dropped it, and then people loved that one too. So, it was cool, man.
Right, that's dope. We won't get into the beef. The Twitter beef.
We not even gonna give that any attention.
That was an interesting. Cincinnati's wild like that.
Yeah, bro.
And here's the thing that I feel for everybody competing for attention.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
Is that I think that it's a a negative byproduct of the positiveness of how much great music we have going on.
Yeah.
We have so many artists, so many great projects that there could be, like when I put out a list of 75 Ohio rappers, right?
Yeah.
And at first it was 50, it just keeps growing. And like that is just who I know of.
Exactly.
So anybody in Cincinnati, there could be another 50. There's actually 50 that I know of that could go in there.
Yeah.
And there's another 50 that I don't know of.
Even know.
So anybody could look at the list and be like, well, what about whoop-de-whoop, whoop-de-whoo? Be like, I listen to more Cincinnati music probably than anybody in Cincinnati.
Facts, yeah.
So if I can't get to all of it, then it's impossible. Yeah. So I think sometimes situations that happen like that are just like...
Yeah, it's like, man, like, if you would have came at me, like, with a, a more just respectful way, like, we could have, like, we could have did something, like, because if you was on that way...
Could have done a collaboration.
Yeah, like, we could have did, but...
Done a show together or whatever. But anyway, we don't have to get in that. But I think that it is one of those things in Cincinnati. Like, a lot of the things that we complain about are negative byproducts that happen because the city's so popular. Right?
Exactly.
So, tell us a little bit. Who is Khari?
Yeah, man. I'm just a student. I like to learn. First and foremost, I love to learn. So that's what I see myself as, first as a student, and then I like to help the next generation as well. So and when I start getting into this music stuff, back when I was real young, I got a lot of game from my pops, my uncles, and stuff like that. They was big in the music scene. So
your family's in the music.
Yeah. Big music family. Like, when I tell you I was a young boy, like, just learning about all, like, the history of hip hop from a young age. So, I just like to pass that down as well. So, I'm just a sponge, man. I'm real sensitive to my surroundings.
How old are you?
24.
24.
Yeah.
So you're part of one of the first real generations to grow up with parents that were part of the hip hop, the original hip hop generation.
My dad is like, he's in his 40s, so he was born right when, like, hip hop was, like, getting its steam rolling. So, I was fortunate enough to be around that and soak up all that game and still be able to be like almost a bridge between like the next generation too. So yeah. So it's funny because I'm 41, and so I'm part of that kind of at the end of the first generation, and and there was it was all brand new to us. And so our parents listened to funk, soul, rock, psychedelic, like all that stuff. And so hip hop, they were like, oh, what is this? Blah, blah. So it's dope to know that hip hop is old enough to where now my generation are having kids. And now our old school music, when we're like, you kids don't know anything about music. Because honestly, hip hop is still young for real. Like, hip hop is so young. Like, people have been doing rapping, I feel like, for a long time, but like the culture of hip hop itself is like super young, honestly. Like, it's not that old. So
you born and raised in Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Walnut Hills High School.
And then you played college ball for a little bit, right?
Yeah, I played college ball at Columbus State. Then I transferred, it was a JUCO, then I transferred after 2 years to Cincinnati Christian University, which is closed down now.
Oh,
which is crazy. So I got in and got out, I got my degree, got up out of there.
What was your degree in?
Business management.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been out of school now for what, 3 years?
Yeah, well, I'm back in school now.
What are you doing now?
Yeah, I'm getting my master's right now in education.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'll be done in July of this year.
Have you been teaching?
Yeah, I've been teaching.
Oh,
I've been teaching for the past year, Kilgore.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been teaching. Third grade. So third grade, ELA, third grade. That's my specialty, ELA. I don't really do too much with the math and science because I'm trying to go into, a strictly ELA social studies classroom. So, yeah, I just been doing that, doing a bunch of, student aid work right now while I'm getting my master's.
Are you hip to any of the hip-hop education literature?
No.
I mean, I need to...
I have books, though, like, but I see that I definitely want
to There's some good stuff that's in there that talks about working with kids. We'll do that we'll do that on another episode.
Yeah.
But it's there's a hip hop is educational in itself, right?
It is. Like, whether we know it or not, as artists, you teaching, like, indirectly or directly. So yeah.
Speaking of teaching, what is what are, now that you've released your project, you've been on a bunch of stages, you've gotten into a lot of conversations, been interviewed, you're kind of like, your career is rolling.
Yeah.
What are some things that older Khari, if you were to go back to 14-year-old Khari and say, you know what, if you really want to pursue this, here's what you should start doing now. Yeah. What are a couple things that you would tell old you?
Yeah, I would tell them work on your craft first and foremost. Like, the craft is the most important thing. I think people just want to do it, jump into it, because they think it looks cool and it's popular.
Right.
But I think if you taking those years of like really grinding at your craft and like, trying different flows, learning, studying the game and like really learning where it originated from and making it your own. That's one thing I would tell them. Another thing is, connect. I wish I would have connected earlier. Like, I didn't really start connecting until last year.
Right.
You know what I mean? With different people, like even like meeting you and stuff like that, just meeting different people on the scene. So I would say connect, talk to people, network, pull up at shows and just, kick it with people.
Right.
Because that's huge, just building that community with people. And then one more thing I would say is believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Yeah, like, know you can do it. Like,
right.
and just pedal to the floor with it.
Right.
If you believe you got a gift, keep it going. Yeah.
It's amazing how one person encouraging you and saying that you're dope can go so far.
Oh,
whether it's music or art or whatever, it's like
Absolutely.
Kids just need like one person to be like, and you don't have to be dope until you're dope.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Getting started, you're not going to be good. Like, nobody's good when they start rapping. Even when we think that we're good, we're still not very good.
Right.
But I like what you said about practicing your craft, because hip hop has this ethos where it's like, I just started doing this and I was dope from day one.
Yeah.
I never practiced anything. But if you go back and you study the greats, Nas, Jay-Z, they all were like gym rats.
Yeah, exactly.
Free throws.
That's how I applied that same basketball background to the music and just worked on my craft.
So what do you think the equivalent of practicing like layups and free throws are in like
in music?
Hip-hop?
I would say it's like, first, one thing I do is like just free write.
Right.
That's like a drill to me. Like, don't even think about it. Just write whatever comes to my head. Don't try to rhyme. Don't even make sense. Talk about anything. Like, just free flow, and then turn it on the beat and just mumbling something like mouthing like flows and different cadences. That's how I get like different like flow patterns and stuff like that. So those is drills that I do just while I'm driving in the car, I'm at the crib just chilling, like, just it's just like good. It's good rec.
How do you practice for shows?
Oh man, so I just got like last year I had got like a sound system, so now I just do it like in the crib or something, like in the basement, and just go at it. But at first I just like throw in an instrumental and just go at it and just look in the mirror, or even like do it in front of people, like 2 or 3 people, and see how they feel about it. So
that's another thing that I stress with the young kids here is that you got to practice when you have a show. Like, you can't just step up. Like, you can't step up on the basketball court with having gone to practice.
Exactly.
So nothing else. Actors have to run through their lines all the time.
Yeah.
It's some of those things that we're starting to really like emphasize in hip hop now.
Yes, because you can get up there and go blank. Like, I've done
easily.
Easily. You can get up there and go blank.
I love the basketball analogy, though, because like your shot, just how many 3-pointers Steph Curry shot in his life.
Exactly.
So where it's just rote memorization, the muscle memory. One big thing I want to ask you about is the song that we've been playing on here is the song you wrote about Sam DuBose. And for me, that's a really important song. I was in Texas when Sam was murdered, and I like to emphasize the word murdered.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's something about music that memorializes and locks in that time and makes sure that we never forget that energy, that emotion.
Yeah.
And something about the song, you encapsulate that emotion, the sadness, the grief, the anger,
Yeah.
All in there. Can you tell me a little bit about what your relationship is with the family and with the song, like how you came to write that song? Because that was before you put out the record, so that's an early song of yours, right?
Yeah. That was, I released it in like January of last year, I think. But I was working on it for honestly a few months. Actually, around the time when it was all happening and all the court stuff was happening, because I was working downtown during the summer at Salvation Army,
right
there on Central Parkway. And so I would see every day, like going to work, I would see like everybody outside of outside of the courthouse. And I'm just like, man, this is crazy. And I had a conversation with like a white dude that would work there, and he was saying like, well, just trying to make the situation, that situation.
Right.
So I had gotten into like a little back and forth. I
blame.
Exactly.
Right.
So I got into back and forth with him, and so that's kind of what inspired me to like write the song. And I had the lyrics for a while. I just didn't know when I wanted to release it. And I felt I needed to get a blessing from.
Right.
So I was just doing a bunch of research. I was hopping on Google, and I found out the wife's name was Deshaunda Reed. Shout out to Deshaunda Reed. So I reached out to her on Facebook. I looked up her name, reached out to her, messaged her like, I got this song. Can I send it to you? Just want your blessing on it. And she was blown away when she heard it. She was like, yeah, I want to put it with our documentary that we're doing.
Oh wow.
And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And then I ended up finding out that I was related to the wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like through my cousin. Her maiden name, or something like it was something like that. But my cousin is her cousin, so
wow.
I was like actually related to.
Oh, you're kidding.
To the
wow,
wife.
That's
so
amazing.
And so ever since then we've been like fam, and
Right.
I've been keeping in touch with her and stuff like that. So and she's been a big supporter of my music,
Okay.
like even after I released that song,
Right.
everything else I released after that. So it was just a real surreal moment, man, because writing that was like kind of tough, and like even trying to release it was even tougher.
Right.
So the fact that she gave me that blessing,
Right.
to do it was dope.
I think that's cool that you went to her first.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people don't think about that.
Yeah.
Because good intentions can sometimes cause some of the most damage.
For sure, every song doesn't have to be released. And
Right.
I was just like, some things are just meant for, for your own,
Right.
Your own therapy. And I was just like, if I want to release it, I have to give her,
Yeah.
her blessing.
And for her family, it can be a blessing if they know and they're able to give the blessing. But it can also be like a cause of like a lot of like PTSD.
Exactly.
To hear a song like
exactly.
and not have had a say in it. So that's dope. Hey, let's go ahead and let's play that real quick. This is Sam, song by Khari. Let me know what you think about it. Man, that song hits me every time. Again, thank you for writing that.
Absolutely.
From the city, from all of us. It's something so monumental can actually become so easy to forget.
Yeah.
Until you remember it.
Exactly.
And then it brings you back. And But so tell us what's next for you.
Man, just new music is coming.
Yeah.
And just trying to. I'm in the final stages of like putting this next project together. So hopefully,
is it a full album, a mixtape, an EP?
Yeah, it's gonna be an album.
Okay.
It's gonna be just how it's looking right now.
Right.
And I got some like pretty dope producers.
Okay.
I don't want to say who yet.
Right.
I'll tell you off the air.
Okay.
I think you'll like get a kick out of
Nice.
this. But yeah, man, just working on that, and then just been forming the BTB stuff. Been trying to get that off the ground and really get my team off the ground as well.
Right. Shout out to
shout out to the team, Banks, Rebel, the guys behind the scenes that don't always get the credit, but they hold us down, John and Amari, and my homie JB. So yeah, man, just been working, and we got some great music. Hopefully it's received well, because it's definitely different than what I've been doing. But
you've been doing some work with TJ from Music Resource Center.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the homie TJ. He's amazing with the camera,
bro,
and the edits.
His stuff is fire.
Yeah. That is the homie, man, for sure. So shout out to him. He's been getting us together with a bunch of stuff too. So yeah, man.
Well, man, thanks for coming on the radio today. Give us, let everybody know where they can find you at, social medias.
Yeah, Instagram, Twitter at Khari BTB. That's KHARI BTB. Facebook Khari BTB. Just hit me up, man. I like to talk to everybody. Hit me in the DM.
Hey, what's this? What song we about to play right here?
Ooh, we about to play my most recent single, K Baller, man.
K Baller, that's right. World premiere right here. What Up Wally show. You're here with Wally and Khari. This is K Baller. You heard it first here. 95.7 FM Music Resource Center, Cincinnati. Let's go, baby.